Shalom. I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone. Much respect to the brothers laboring worldwide. And salutations and blessings to the hopeful elect, the ones who are truly believing on the words of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Coming at you with a lesson, Lord willing, is edifying. And what I did was Google Civil War. And I wanted to bring up these images, What you're seeing is going to come back to America shortly, okay? Why? Because the Lord is breaking this place down, all right? What it said, kingdom divided cannot stand. And that's what we're seeing the beginning stages of, all right? What does the scripture say? That which is being is that which shall be. Let's get that right quick. And there is no new thing under the sun. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, and verse 9. The thing that have been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done, it is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have already been of old time, which was before us. All right? So the Lord is just playing out these different scenarios again. All right? Let's go back to a couple of these images. And people don't realize that, race war, class war, civil war is biblical prophecy. You got, pictures of the folks at the Capitol building, right? It happened on the 6th. But this is something that they've always done. What you think the so-called independence war was about? British versus America. And they always rationalize things with what? The sword. All right? Now, I have 2 articles, all right, that I want to touch on. It's really 2 articles about the same thing. And I have a video clip that I want to show. And then we'll get into the scriptures. So this is BusinessInsider.com. It says Bridgewater founder Ray Dalio says the U.S. is on the brink of a terrible civil war because of wealth gaps and political partisanship. So this guy, matter of fact, this was done January 24th, 2021, year of Haitian. All right? So this is what? Breaking news, man, 2 days ago. It says this guy is supposed to be a hedge fund, $1 billion hedge fund guy. Right? Let's see. And this information is just not put out just to be put out. The Lord does everything calculated. Okay? Says Bridgewater Associate founder Ray Dalio tweeted Sunday that the U.S. could fall into a terrible civil war if its political and economic challenges aren't addressed. You see that? Our country is still in a terrible financial state and terribly divided, he wrote. The Spirit of the Lord, matter of fact. Let's go get a quick precept. Let's go to Mark. Chapter 3. Verse 24. Okay? Let's start at 24. If a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. If a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. That's what we're addressing. The end of Esau. Okay? This guy supposed to be what is it? Have wisdom of this world, right? He said he called the Democrats and Republicans to work together to address the wealth gap, government debt, and political partisanship. See that? Now let's get this second article done by the New York Post. Gives a little more information, and this was actually done January 25th. The other one was the 24th, 2021, year of Haitian. So in the New York Post, it says, hedge fund billionaire warns inequality may spur terrible civil war. See that? And guess what? This thing is biblical, man. The Lord said he was going to do this. All right? Matter of fact, let's get a quick precept. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 19. It's Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. You see that? So it's the Lord that's stirring these things up. He set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Well, how can we prove that these Egyptians are the Egyptians that we are under now, the modern day Babylon? Besides the architecture, the different obelisks, well, the scripture said you're going to be with your captive. Matter of fact, let's just get a quick precept. Let's go to Deuteronomy. (28). All right, the curses. That's plain. This is Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. You see that? By whereof I spake unto thee, and thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Meaning what? No man is going to be able to redeem you at this curse. Okay? And the Lord said he's going to send us into Egypt again with ships. Well, we're in Egypt, and we did come here by way of ships. Okay? Let's get another precept. This is Revelation 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Yeah, he was exed out. His true nature was not put on display here. All right? And guess what? Our dead bodies did lie in the great city, spiritually dead, not knowing who we were according to the scriptures, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. And we can see that plain as day. Okay? Sodom, homosexual runs rapid here. All right? And make it like it's first nature, but it's really abomination. In Egypt, what? The land of our captivity, man. Okay? Well, that's been proven. Let's go back. Let's read it one more time. This is Isaiah. Excuse me. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. You see? We at the beginning stages of the Lord getting ready to unleash, these prophecies on Esau Edom. You want to know that the Lord has done this. All right? Says Diallo, a 71-year-old founder of the giant hedge fund Bridgewater Associates, tweeted on Sunday that he was pleased by Biden's inauguration day rhetoric of unity. Yeah, that's what these devils always want to do. They always want to bring everybody together. Nah, man, we ain't doing that no more. Jumping down, it says, I believe we are on the brink of a terrible civil war. And that's along with a famine that's going to hit this place. That goes along with these blackouts that's going to hit this place. You know, they go along with what else? Sedition among men, people not being able to work, man. The people looking out the windows and they be darkened, right? The Lord is bringing this place down piece by piece. It says, I believe we are on the brink of a terrible civil war, he tweeted, where we are at the inflection point between entering a type of hell. You see, hell is conditioned. Entering a type of hell of fighting or pulling back to work together for peace and prosperity that addresses the big wealth values and opportunity gaps we're now seeing. Well, guess what? The wicked elite, the global elite, instituted the wealth gap, man. They want two classes, poor and rich. All right, what you think this pandemic was about? Destroying the middle class so it can only be two classes, man. All right? Why? So the wicked elite can forward the agenda of getting everybody chipped with that RFID microchip, man. All right? So they can be what? Like the Most High. Simple. It's plain to those who have eyes to see. Now, I had this video queued up. We're not going to play all of it. But this is speaking on those two articles that we just featured. We get a little bit of information off this, get some more scriptures, and we'll close it out. And this is by The Epic Economist. It has some really good information.
It's been over a decade since economists have been warning that the unconstrained monetary frenzy would end up triggering a societal collapse. But the mainstream media has disregarded those predictions and even mocked experts' alerts, treating them as conspiracy theories. However, the reckoning day never fails to arrive. And now the same forecasts that used to be ignored are being shared by hedge fund billionaire Ray Dalio, who argued that the Federal Reserve's policies are dangerously widening the inequality gap, which could result in intense civil conflicts, aggressive disputes, and more divides in the American society, putting the entire republic and our economic and financial systems at risk of irreversibly falling apart. That's what we're going to expose in today's video. So stay with us, and don't forget to leave it a thumbs up.
What you don't know is already irreversibly falling apart, man. The Lord has hit this place with plagues. Let's go get that. It's irreversibly falling apart already. There's nothing that you can do. The plagues are already sent. Who may turn them back? Okay? Second Ezra. Chapter 15. I want to see what I want. It's in like verse 16. Let's see. Yeah, what I want is in verse 16, but we'll start at verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. There you go. Egypt again, right? Land of your captivity. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. You see that? Smite Egypt right? The land of your captivity, aka Babylon the Great, aka America. Okay? Smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. And that's another thing. It says it's going to destroy all the land thereof. Well, guess what? Ancient Egypt is still there. So what is this talking about? Right? It's talking about America being a desolate wilderness. All right? They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You see, when all these things come to pass, then what's going to happen? A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Yeah, it's going to be martial law, man. Okay? Once this thing kicks off, it's going to cause what? Martial law. See that? We on the brink of it happening again. Okay? The Lord warned us of these things, man. Look for the signs of his coming. It's part of the signs, right? Let's go back to this video.
With friends and subscribe to our channel to keep updated with the next chapters of the economic collapse. Over 10 years ago, on November the 3rd, 2010, the Federal Reserve's Policy Committee, led by the then chairman, Ben Bernanke, was on a meeting that changed the course of the U.S. monetary policies. Back then, the meeting was already considered one of the most important events in the Fed's history, and that turned out to be true. The central bank announced its new flexibilization measures to boost the faltering economic recovery, and that sparked heated debates amongst economists, financial strategists, and market experts that considered that the plan was a wrong move. At that time, Chairman Bernanke had just introduced plans to drive down already low interest rates by buying up long-term bonds. Little did they know that in 10 years' time, interest rates would be nearing zero. Back then, quantitative easing was still just an idea. Since the Fed only sets short-term interest rates, and they already were considerably low, Bernanke's plan was to basically create money to purchase the long-term bonds that the Fed didn't directly control and drive down those interest rates as well. Their goal was to decrease the cost of borrowing for large companies and homeowners even more, but today we can say that once the money printing started, things spiraled out of control pretty quickly. Some even called the measure QE2, since the Fed...
Let's move ahead a little bit.
One step closer to having widespread civil confrontations, if not worse. Here's what Zero Hedge argued about the Fed's November 3rd, 2010 meeting, and how it just got that. Others affirmed it would stoke inflation, which also turned out to be an accurate forecast. Although many had opinions on how it would impact the economy, very few dared to ponder how the new policies would affect America's society. 10 years ago, Zero Hedge indicated that Ben's plan could actually prompt severe social conflicts. The website wrote that the Fed's plan was not only moronic, but positioned U.S. society one step closer to having widespread civil confrontations, if not worse. Here's what Zero Hedge argued about the Fed's November 3rd, 2010 meeting, and how it justified its prediction of why the policies would lead to civilian disorder.
You see how far Esau plays the long game? It was in 2010 of this meeting of the global elite talking about, printing more money to cause what? Hyperinflation. the dollar to crash, stock market to crash, global reset, which includes what? UBI and digital currency, which is what? Just more ways for the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, to be introduced into society, man. Okay?
In a very real sense, Bernanke is throwing Granny and Grandpa down the stairs on purpose. He is literally threatening those at the lower end of the economic strata, along with all who are retired, with starvation and death. And in a just nation where the rule of law controlled instead of being abused by the kleptocrats, he would be facing charges of seditious conspiracy, as his policies will inevitably lead to the destruction of our republic, the website wrote. Needless to
See that? The Lord has said what, man? He trying to have the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. What is that? That's a false balance. And the Lord hates false balance, man. Okay? It's Proverbs, verse 11. Excuse me, Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse 1. A false balance is an abomination unto the Lord Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. And that's what you see. You see that up there? Contrast the upright and the wicked. Well, the wicked deals in false balances. All right? Verse 2. When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly is wisdom. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the shame of Esau. His whole system is being torn down by simply as the word. Okay? Let's go back to the video. We get a little bit more out of it, and then we'll close it down.
recent tweets that America is on the brink. Correct again, based not only on the increasing tears happened, we've seen the Fed introduce not only QE2, but twist, QE3, not QE, and what experts are now calling Q-eternity, which started last March when the central bank began issuing unlimited helicopter money to pay for.
So quantitative easing, introducing more money into the system with now, I believe, zero interest rates, which could go into negative interest rates. Keep in mind, the same thing is going on in Europe. It's going on all over the world. So what, to bring forth the agenda again of this mark of the beast, man? This RFID microchip. Why? Because this devil knows he has but a short time.
Universal basic income and support the financial markets. In a recent article, Zero Hedge noted that while at the time the backlash merely added to their reputation of a tinfoil conspiracy blog, it appears they were sadly correct again, based not only on the increasing tears within the U.S. social fabric, which culminated in unprecedented riots and looting last summer and continued social upheavals in recent months.
See that? That's that wound, man, that festering wound that will not be healed. Matter of fact, let's get a quick preset. That's that wound. All right. Jeremiah 51 and start at 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Yeah. Flee out of the midst of Babylon by what? Not doing the things of Babylon. All right? No longer celebrating these damn holidays. Right? No longer celebrating your birthday. Eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, the abomination. That's how you flee out of the midst of Babylon. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations are drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Yeah. They took on central banks themselves. Okay? Trying to what? Follow the ways after Babylon the Great. And now the nations are mad. It says Babylon is fallen. Excuse me. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain? If so be, she may be healed. Yeah. But this deadly wound is not healed, man. It's festering. You can't just keep putting stimulus package on top of stimulus package. Right? Lowering the interest rate, introducing more money. Well, guess what? All you're going to do is cause hyperinflation, cause a huge bubble, which is soon to bust. Verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. And that's what we're seeing, the Lord judging this place. All right? Let's get a little bit more, and then we'll close it out.
But also in terms of what one of the biggest investing minds of this generation just tweeted. The website pointed out, referring to Bridgewater founder and billionaire Ray Dalio's recent tweets that America is on the brink of a terrible societal collapse. In his Twitter account, Dalio said he wanted a president who could bring together our country to face our challenges in a more united and less divisive way. He wanted someone who would unite people, that is to say, someone who does not view themselves as the leader of the winning side, imposing policies the other side would find intolerable. He affirmed to believe that we are on the brink of a terrible civil conflict, where we are at an inflection point between entering a type of hell of fighting or pulling back to work together for peace and prosperity that addresses the big wealth, values, and opportunity gaps we're now seeing. That's why he mentioned that he was thrilled to hear what President Biden said at his inauguration.
See that? Is more of what? When they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. Let's go get that. And then we'll get the closing precept. 2 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians. 5. It's Timothy, Salakia. Bear with me. All right. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Oh, you got this guy, boasting about he's happy that Biden is in office. Well, that's not going to quell anything, man. If anything, it's going to get even hot and heavier. Okay? Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shah. Let's go ahead and close it out. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra. Let's go to chapter 16. And let's start at verse 5. All right? It reads, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? Yeah, all these plagues are sent, man. All right, don't matter who you put in office, who you try and associate with making America great again, it's not going to happen. The plagues are already sent. May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood? Or may anyone quench the fire and stubble when it have begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? Yeah, it's the Lord sending these things, man. All right, and they're not going to turn back. A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He casteth lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? Yeah. The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? You see that? It's the Lord that's threatening these things, man. Guess what? They're going to come to pass because he has decreed them. Matter of fact, let's get one more precept and we'll close it out. I think it's Proverbs 18. I think it's Proverbs 18. Let me see. Let's type it up right quick. Maybe it'll search up. Really? Okay. Give me 1 second. Alright, we're back. Salaki about that precept that I wanted is in Ecclesiastes, not Proverbs. We'll close it out here. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 4. Where the word of a king is, there is power. So yeah, when the Lord commanded these players to go out, he had the power to initiate it and bring it through, man. It's the Almighty. Where the word of a king is, there is power. And who may say unto him, what doest thou? Yeah, you can't say nothing to the Lord, man. All right? He's going to bring forth all these plagues, his judgment, to execute vengeance on the heathen. That's going to be it for the lesson. Lord willing, it's been edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone. Coming next you want a lesson, Lord willing. Till the next time I say Shalom and a Bible ball.